What's up, Internet? It's your boy Tanku, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Before we jump into the course, I gotta remind you guys, please like and subscribe to the videos. Hit me up on the Twitter, the Facebook, and the Instagram. It's all in the channel description, so let's go ahead and get things started. Today, we are going to talk about the wise man's grandson, or in Japanese, I believe it's Kenja no Mago. I wasn't going to talk about this anime because it's the new Isekai of the season, but it did something to impress me. So I said, let's go ahead and get a video on it and get more people watching it because it's actually pretty good. So, of course, it's Isekai. You have our main character, Shin, who is an adult working man in, of course, Japan, and he gets hit by a truck. Typical trope, right? He is reincarnated as a baby in this new fantasy world, and he is found by Merlin Winford, who is a mage, basically. And so the mage takes him in as a baby and raises him. And so he's being raised by Merlin and Melida, who he considers his grandfather and grandmother, and they're teaching him magic and chanting and all that stuff. And yet also on the side, they're making him learn how to fight with, a sword and hand-to-hand combat by a dude that lives in their little village because they live in the forest away from everything. They're raising him, and he's being really good at magic, of course. He's the main character, so he gets a little OP, and he gets visited by his uncle all the time. He considers him his uncle because they live far out in the woods. It's hard to think. And they show you little progressions of when he's like a baby to when he's a little kid, 5, 10. And then, of course, he turned to a teenager when the story actually starts. And he's a really powerful mage. He doesn't have to do any chanting to control his magic. He's able to do it, natural at it. And on I believe it's his 15th or 16th birthday, or maybe it's 14, I don't know, because those ages get a little weird for me. He's having a big party. His uncle's there. The guy that's trained him in the swordsmanship and all that stuff's there. Of course, his grandfather and grandmother's there. They find out he's super powerful, and they want to be able to make it to where they hide the fact that he's super powerful so the other kingdoms don't come after him for military purposes. So they get the great idea that they're going to enroll him in the magic school of that kingdom. I pretty much thought this was going to be a straight comedy isekai because a lot of funny stuff happens. What you find out is Merlin has straight just been training him and taught him no common sense. He's never used money. He's never interacted with anybody but pretty much the 4 people that we mentioned before. And they've lived in the forest far away from everything. So he had no idea that his grandfather and his grandmother were these big heroes of the kingdom. So when they go to the main city of the kingdom, the capital, you find out that his grandfather and grandmother used to be married. They're no longer married. And they have a huge house that was given to them by the king. And they lived in this little shack the entire time in the forest. And he's like, you guys been holding out on me. We've been this rich this entire time. And, we live in this little shack. And it's just because Merlin and Melida doesn't want all the attention that they get, because as soon as they go through the gates of the city, they get swarmed all the time because they're, like I said, you find out they're the heroes of the kingdom that saved them from this great darkness a long time ago. And so that's why they moved out to the forest, to be away from all that. And when they raised him, and he gets into the academy, and he meets August, who's the king's son, so the prince, and they hit it off really well. Before that, there's a little time when he's going through on his first shopping experience so he can learn how to use the money in this world and everything like that. And he runs into Cicely and Maria, who are best friends. And Cicely and Maria are being, of course, hounded by thugs or, the random rascals of the kingdom, and Shin saves them. That trope. And that's why I was like, wasn't going to do a video on it to begin with, because it's pretty tropey in the beginning. And so Cicely pretty much ends up liking him right away. Maria's her friend, so she sticks around and says, oh, this guy's really powerful. I want to get to know this guy. They don't know that he's Merlin's grandson. But the rumors are around, like, Merlin's grandson's coming to our school. It's going to be sick. So he befriends them before they even know who he is, which is really nice. I like that aspect of it. So anyways, they get to the school. They do the tests. During the entrance exams, they tell him, hey, ease up on your magic a little bit because, we heard about you. The reason why I'm doing this video is because it impressed me. So that's your main story. He's going to school. He's making these friends. You find out that he can enchant, like, uniforms, and he finds out, like, his enchantments are, like, national treasures, and he just did him for his friends because he was like, oh shit, no, let me do it. Let me erase this enchantment you have and put on stronger enchantments. And he got in trouble for it because, like, dude, you can't do that. Those are, like, national secret enchantments you're doing. And he's like, oh shit, I didn't know. So he's trying to learn, like I said, common sense, scale back his magic so it fits with everybody. But the reason why I'm doing this video, because I thought it was going to be haha funny, going on. But there was a quick storyline that just happened that Cicely was being harassed by another noble that's jealous of Shin because Shin got the top score in the entrance exam. So he was like the guy that does the speech at the opening ceremony. He got into the S class, which is the highest one you can do, with Maria and Cicely and Shin and a few others. And so he was jealous because he only got ranked as an A class. And so they introduced the big bad, who was basically using this kid. And this kid's basically using his power and his wealth to harass Cicely and say, you're my girlfriend, you're going to do what I tell you to. The typical just being a jerk type stuff. And of course, Shin steps in and protects Cicely and starts walking her home from school every day, things like that. And so what just happened is they introduced the big bad who was using this guy that's harassing Cicely. And Cicely comes after Shin, like hardcore, like power, like he increases his magic somehow because the big bad did it. And he's just, got taken over, he became a demonoid and all this good stuff. And so him and Shin are fighting, and then I'm sitting there like, okay, typical stuff's going on, and the entire time Shin is like, oh, how do I save him? How do we reverse this? His mind's not completely taken over. How are we gonna do this? I'm like, oh, okay, we're gonna do this typical, not going to, figure out how to save him up. But no, he straight murks this dude. Like, he's like, you know what? He's going too far. He's gonna blow up the school. He pulls out a sword and just straight murks this dude, cuts his head off. And his friends are watching, and his friend's like, damn, he just murked that guy. And so that episode went from like funny, haha, it's gonna be comic, to no, there's like blood squirting out of the dude's neck. I was like, dude, I wasn't expecting that. So that's why I'm doing this video, to tell people to watch it, because it surprised me. I wasn't expecting that, and it goes from like, hey, comedy, haha, to like, oh, we're fighting and it's serious now, really quickly. And they balanced it really well. It is tropey because it is a isekai, but it's definitely worth a watch. Check it out, guys. I am anime only on it. I didn't read the manga because I read so many isekais. It's just the way it is. But again, this anime did surprise me. You guys should check it out, and I hope everybody does have an awesome day.